Hi Virgo, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. Thanks for joining me on your 21 card Gypsy Tarot love spread for the month of June. So I decided to do an additional spread. As I do a lot of the month, I will do an additional spread for you guys because I really like it. It feels full on the channel then. I hate just leaving it with one spread. I like to do at least a couple. And I thought also, because we're sort of midway through the year, we're at the 6-month stage, which is really amazing. The year has just gone by so fast. I thought it'd be kind of nice just to give each of the signs a bit of a treat. So we're going to focus on what's happening in your love lives, Virgo, for the month of June 2017. Universe, Spirit, show me in a Gypsy Tarot love spread what's going on for Virgo, the zodiac sign of Virgo, sun, moon and rising signs. Virgo, sun, moon and rising signs. Virgo, sun, moon and rising signs for their love lives in the month of June 2017 in a 21 card Gypsy Tarot spread. What's going on for Virgo, sun, moon and rising signs? Virgo, sun, moon and rising signs. Virgo, sun, moon and rising signs in their love lives in the month of June 2017. Show me. Okay. So we've, and I forgot to mention, I'm actually using the Pictorial Key tarot deck. It's a new deck that I got last week from Amazon. It's really, really nice. I really like it a lot. So let me just split the deck into 3, and I'm going to collect this back up like so, and then we're going to start laying the cards from, just make sure I've got the right way up to do it, left to right. Okay, so we start laying 3 rows of 7, as you know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's push this across like here. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There we go. So yeah, we've got all 21 cards down, and what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at what the mental and emotional is around your love life. So this is the column for your mental and emotional concerning your love lives in the month of June 2017. Virgo, and the top layer really is about the situation. Sometimes this can be the thought area, the situation, and what's the reason for the situation. So it just depends on, you know, how it feels to me. The situation around what's going on mentally and emotionally is about a Knight of Swords. So there could be a Gemini, Libra or Aquarius person around you guys in the month of June, and your thoughts might be, the situation might be around this particular person. Sometimes when you get the Knight of Swords, this can be a very quick hit of a relationship, so it's fleeting. Anything to do with sort of Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands and relationships in the tarot is not always particularly good. Can be a person, yes, definitely, that the focus is on, but it can also be about quick changes as well in terms of love. When you see a Knight of Swords energy here. Sometimes Knight of Swords can be a bully boy. So this can be about aggression or arguments, that type of thing. But I do feel for some of you guys, it might be that there is a Gemini, Libra or Aquarius individual, Virgo, around you in the month of, that might be the focus mentally and emotionally within the month of June 2017. And let's have a look at what the reason for this is. So not the reason, but your mental and emotional thoughts around this situation. Well, we've got the Eight of Wands. So mentally and emotionally, it might be. Eight of Wands is, you know, any tarot reader will really tell you that with the Eight of Wands, it's a fairly kind of difficult card in a way, because what we find is 8 staffs being thrown through the air, and the 8 staffs can mean anything. It can mean communication, so it might be mentally and emotionally, your focus might be on communication with this individual here. The Eight of Wands also means the word motion. So when you get the Eight of Wands, it's about things that are really happening very, very quickly. So it might be mentally and emotionally, you might be focused on having things. Also, the Eight of Wands reminds me of things like a rush to the head, because it's a rush. It's like really fast. These huge wands being cast through the air. And the wands are all about passion and fire. So it might be that emotionally, you might be feeling quite a lot of passion. Could be because of there is a Knight of Swords, a dashing individual that has come into your life in June, or probably before then. But this Knight of Swords might be the air sign person that is the focus of the situation. And as a result of that, mentally and emotionally it might be a rush of passion some of you guys might be feeling with the Eight of Wands. Could be that your feelings are up in the air. Sometimes the Eight of Wands can say that. And it can also be that your focus mentally might be on some form of, you know, and because it's a mental card, and 8 and Wands usually are quite spiritual, I think 8 might also be a spiritual number, because it's got that kind of, I don't know, I can't remember what they call it, this sign of infinity sort of thing with the 8. It might be that this mentally, there might be something of a spiritual connection maybe with this card here between you and another individual. We're going to see why your mental and emotional is this Eight of Wands anyway. Well, there you go, because of the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands could be saying that you're having a lot of enjoyment with this individual. Now, Four of Wands, I'm careful with this card, because it can represent things like engagements, it can represent marriages, but it can also simply represent that you have a small success with someone. So if you look at the Four of Wands, it's about relaxation. It's about joy. It's about celebration. This is a party scene. This is where you're dating someone. This is where you're enjoying the first flushes of love, because the Four of Wands is often the card that says that something is at its beginning stage. It's kind of mid-cycle. You get cards like, you know, aces through to the number 3, and it's the beginning cycle of a situation. A 4 through to a 6 is mid-cycle. So it might be that you guys have been dating someone potentially for a while with the Four of Wands. So it might be that, you know, things are mentally and emotionally, you might be, your focus is on things picking up really, really quickly, possibly because you've been dating this person. Could have been for a few months with the Four of Wands. It's mid-cycle card. It doesn't represent that you're dating often for a really long time, but it can be with the Four of Wands that you've been having a really good time with an individual, and this is why the situation is around this individual. A Knight of Swords. Usually in terms of tarot individuals, Knight of Swords is a fairly dashing individual. You know, he's very exciting individual. So the focus might be on an air sign, or it could be a very dashing and exciting individual in which mentally and emotionally they bring a rush of blood to the head, maybe even the genitalia if you like, with the Eight of Wands. Great passion abounding with the Eight of Wands. Also, a lot of the focus is on a lot of excitement. They might mentally stimulate you, if you like, with this Eight of Wands. And it's because of the Four of Wands. They might bring you great joy. You might have a really good time with them. You might be in the early stages or mid-cycle of a relationship with this individual. So for you, the focus might be on speeding things up with the Eight of Wands, because it's been, you know, you've been with this person, or, you know, it might be that you're engaged to this person or something like that. Virgo. What's going on in your present situation concerning love, though? So we've got the Knight of Pentacles, we've got another Knight, and the Knight of Pentacles in terms of a situation means slow and steady progress. So the situation might be also on attaining a goal. So when you get the Knight of Pentacles in terms of love, this is about a faithful and loyal lover, okay? I don't know whether there's 2 people that you're involved with, Virgo. Could be, because the focus is around another Knight. And even though we don't always explain Knights within the tarot as being people, we can also say, perhaps with this Knight, if this isn't another person, maybe and actually no, of course not. Virgo, this is you. Knight of Pentacles is you. Virgo is the Knight of Pentacles energy. So when you get the Knight of Pentacles, you know that each of the cards, the court cards, are attributed an astrological sign, while Knight of Pentacles is attributed to being a Virgo individual. So your focus might be on you. Maybe attaining, maybe you've got a plan here, maybe the situation around what's going on in your love lives concerns, you know, slow and steady progress, the attainment of a plan, putting plans into action, because the Knight of Pentacles is the planner card. So some of you guys might have a long-term plan, for example, but how does that kind of work out in the present concerning your love lives underneath this? Well, the Magician in terms of love. So in the present situation for your love lives in June, something really is just starting. But I think that you guys have some huge ideas, because the focus is around, the situation is about a long-term goal. And this is really your long-term goal for a lot of you guys here with this Knight of Pentacles. Virgo. Your long-term goal, because you are the Knight of Pentacles. You're the Virgo here. Here, the situation is about a Knight of Swords. So this might be the person in your life. An air sign individual, a very dashing individual, and mentally and emotionally, they really stir something up in you with the Eight of Wands. The focus is on, you know, getting things moving. Eight of Wands also always shows active. So whenever, you know, somebody were to come to me in a reading, Virgo, and they were saying, you know, what do I need to do to get my business to be a success? And if this card shows up for them, I would tell this client, you know, well, you need to be proactive. You probably need to be sending loads of emails. And you probably need to be contacting people, maybe people that you've not thought of contacting, because this can be about long distance communication. So people from afar, maybe you need to, you know, maybe you need to go and travel, do a lot, because this is the card of travel as well, the Eight of Wands. So maybe you could do a lot of traveling to enhance your business. This could be, you know, if a lot of your business is from abroad, why don't you go and see a few of your clients, make some arrangements for meetings to go and see them in their country, that type of thing. Or have them make arrangements to come and see you. This is the card about activity and being proactive and being busy. So I would suggest you get your busy on, because this is what the Eight of Wands is. Eight of Wands is also, as I've said, about communication. So I would advise my client to go and send out lots of communication. Okay, via mail. It's the quickest way to do it. Don't post leaflets through, but send through, you know, emails. Get onto social medias, do stuff through that way with the Eight of Wands energy. It's a very fast-moving paced card, and it suggests lots of activity and being proactive with the Eight of Wands. It's a busy time when you get the Eight of Wands coming in. So your focus will be on activity, motion, forward-pushing motion perhaps, because the Four of Wands. Some of you guys might be mid-stage in a relationship. Four of Wands energy. You might have got engaged, for example. Some of you guys, it might be that you have an absolutely amazing time with your partner with the Four of Wands energy here. Some of you guys, you might just be getting to know with the Four of Wands energy here. But it's somebody that you do know, should be. And that's why in the present situation, the focus, the situation is around Virgo having a long-term goal. How does that manifest? Well, Magician. Magician is the #1 card within the tarot, within the major arcana, sorry. And the Magician focuses on great plans, great ideas. Because when you get the Magician, it doesn't always mean that things are happening bam, bam, bam like that. It means, again, it's the planner card. You've got two planner cards here. The Knight of Pentacles suggests that you're actually doing something. So it's a physical planning card. It's when you're actually writing things down. You know, when you've actually got an action plan and you're actually doing the plan. This is more about things being in the head space. So this is really, because the focus is on a long-term plan that you have here, what's going on in the present is the focus in terms of love is on, you know, great dreams, big dreams, making things happen as the Magician does. And what's the reason for that? Well, there we go. Because you're in love. The Lovers card shows up here. So I think some of you Virgos are in love and you are planning something in terms of your relationship. You're planning something in terms of love. I think there is great, you know, attraction going on here within some of your, and it's really funny because often when I do these readings, it usually shows people that are single and looking for love. But in this area here, it's showing a lot of the readings that have come out. I think it's bar Scorpio maybe. I think Scorpio might have been even about relationships. But a lot of this is showing relationships for people, actually, funnily enough. Okay, and I think that you do, in the present, have some great plans with the Magician because you are in love. And the situation around this Knight of Pentacles is about making those plans. It's about long-term plans, I feel, because you've got long-term plans being the situation with the Knight of Pentacles, staying on course because one is faithful and loyal to, you know, a long-term goal. And the focus for that, the reason for that is because of your being in love in a relationship. The same as the focus or the situation being around a Knight of Swords, a Gemini, Libra or an Aquarius individual. And the reason for that is because the Four of Wands. Could be an engagement, could be that you're very happy, but you are very happy in a relationship, some of you guys. And I feel that you want something to move further with a particular person here, Virgo. What's happening in your hopes and desires for love in June for some of you guys, Virgo? Well, the focus, the situation is around the Seven of Swords. Okay. So the Seven of Swords could be, because you seem so happy here. I don't think this is what's going on. Seven of Swords often in terms of love is deception. That's the word that comes up, when somebody's not being honest with you. So it might be that the situation is around deception here. It might be that this actually happened in your past. But what are your hopes? Or it could be something to do with careful and cautious planning. But what's the situation around your hopes in terms of that? But the Nine of Wands shows you guys you're hoping to. Nine of Wands as a hope means to protect. That's how I would read the Nine of Wands as a hope. Because the Nine of Wands is a card about trepidation and fear, anxiety and the need to preserve and protect one's environment or what one has already built up. You can see this man here, he's almost like a soldier protecting the boundaries. So it might be that some of you guys have been hurt in the past. Maybe this is showing a past situation, which is why the situation focuses so much around the hopes. The situation around your hopes being to protect this Nine of Wands energy here, what you've built up, what you have. It could be because the situation is the Seven of Swords. And that Seven of Swords, I would relate that maybe to a past situation in which some of you are hurt. You've been hurt. You might have been let down. You might have been cheated on, deceived in love. And as a result of that, it might be that your hope is to protect what you now have. And why is that? Because of the Six of Pentacles. Now, this card here being the situation with the Seven of Swords, I would relate both of these cards to being past. I don't think it's what's going on here. I think that this is a past situation. I think you have great love here for some of you guys and you're looking to build on that here. And I feel that this hope, and all of these cards here can be deemed in a way, fairly negative. Because this Six of Pentacles represents an imbalance in a relationship. Funnily enough, a lot of people want to say, well, it's about give and receive in a relationship. Not all the time. It really, really isn't. It just isn't. Because you've got three people sitting on the card. Sometimes this will show a player up. Sometimes this will show somebody that doesn't give a shit. Sometimes this will show somebody who's playing one person and then playing the other. Sometimes this will show somebody who has the majority of the power to give or to take away. For me, the Six of Pentacles is not one of my favourite cards in terms of love unless it shows up in terms of a money reading. Other than that, I don't really have much time for this card when it comes to love. I don't think it's about give and receive. Because sometimes this card can mean that you give too much and receive little back. Alright? So your focus might be on, around your hopes, to protect this relationship with the Nine of Wands energy. And that's the, that's the upside of this card, to protect it. It's not a fear because I only read the hope here. So your hopes might be to protect this relationship. Well, what's the reason for protecting it? Could be with the Six of Pentacles. Maybe you've had some up and down times with this person. Maybe the Six of Pentacles is saying in the past, you gave too much to a relationship. Maybe you've given your all to a relationship. Maybe there's an imbalance going on here. The situation is around your need to protect this, the Seven of Swords. Deception, lies, cheating. But I don't, I feel for some of you guys, it could be maybe you're in a relationship like this where you don't fully trust your partner. For some of you guys, it might be a past thing that happened to you with this Seven of Wands, in which now your hopes are to protect this relationship because perhaps you've invested quite a bit in it with the Six of Pentacles. What's going on in terms of your expectations of your relationship? Well, there you go. You've got the situation being around a victory. So, in terms of your expectations, your focus, crowning thoughts, will be on victory. And as a result of that, what are you expecting? Justice. No, it's not justice, it's the Queen of Wands energy here. Let me just see why you're expecting that Queen of Wands. Because of the Queen of Pentacles. And that's you. It could be that what you're expecting, because the Queen of Wands is about great passion. Okay, this is what she is. Queen of Wands always gets what she wants. The Queen of Wands is confident and she's very self-assured. I don't think that these are other people. I think that this is, you're expecting a Queen of Wands energy in terms of this relationship. It could be that you're expecting to, you know, have everything go your way, maybe, with the Queen of Wands energy. You know, it's difficult to explain in a way what you expecting the Queen of Wands, because we could always look at her and say, well, this person might be expecting there's somebody else. But why would you be expecting somebody else because of the Queen of Pentacles? You've got this, your crowning area. Your views in terms of your expectations are on victory. So it's around positive. You're thinking positively around the expectations area here. And this is where we can say, well, this is what you're thinking, because it's in your expectations. And also this could be your crowning area around Seven of Swords, around the hopes. But this is negative around your hopes, and this is positive around your expectations. So the only thing I can think of with the Seven of Swords being your thoughts are negative is because maybe something that went on in the past. Maybe there's something going on with your partner. Maybe that you're getting a little bit of something around this individual. And that's why your hopes are to protect the relationship, because it could be that the root issue is this, and the pentacles represent what we experience in the here and now. There might be a slight imbalance in that relationship that you have felt and experienced. All right, so it might be that your focus, your crowning thoughts are, well, what if this person's deceiving me? Because I think that I'm giving possibly a little bit more than this person's giving here, potentially. And that's why I'm hoping to protect this relationship, to make sure that I hold on to it. Because what I'm expecting is the Queen of Wands. But why am I expecting the Queen of Wands in terms of this relationship? Because of the Queen of Pentacles. I think that you're expecting great passion with this relationship. And that's based on you, Virgo, being the perfect partner. The Queen of Pentacles is a perfect partner within the tarot. She really is. When you get the Queen of Pentacles, this is the homemaker. This is the woman that looks after the children. This is the woman that looks after the husband. This is the woman that cooks at the stove. And I know that it's a fairly, how can we say, it's a fairly kind of sexist look at how women and are sort of, you know, generalised in terms of our sex. That to say that, you know, the perfect female is somebody. I mean, I know I certainly don't cook. And I've been in relationships and, you know, boyfriends have had to accept about me that I'm not a perfect cook, and I'm not. And, you know, I'm not the perfect sort of you know, I wouldn't be the perfect. I mean, I would have liked children, but I'm not, certainly not any sort of, you know, I'm certainly not the type of girl that would, you know, want to stand around a fire with 3 kids at my legs, you know, and a belly, you know, which is fine for other women. That's fine. We're designed to have children, and it's good if you want that. That's brilliant. But for me as a woman, I certainly wouldn't want that. No chance. No way. Not for me at all. I want my independence all the way. And in fact, I have no intention of giving any man that I'm with any semblance of order over me, because no man rules me. No way. But some women think they're along those lines. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody's different. Some people like the yin and yang and the, you know, the different balances between the male and the female sex. Some people like the man to wear the pants and be in charge. Personally, I don't mind a man being in charge as long as I can be in charge too. And that's the way they operate. But I feel for some of you guys, it is a case of that you are expecting great passion with this Queen of Wands energy here. You might also be expecting to take charge, because the Queen of Wands takes charge. All right? And she takes charge via her body, via her beauty, via her sexuality, via her ability to attract the man, to keep the man. And this is for male or female, whichever way you want to attract, you know. If you're a male, you'll be expecting to attract a woman and to keep a woman this way. If you're a female, you're doing the same. But for some of you guys, it will be that you will be expecting to keep that person with this Queen of Wands. Because Queen of Wands keeps men. This is what she does. She attracts them and then she keeps them. She attracts them and then she eats them. Because that's how she is. That's how we... You know, within the tarot, we have archetypes of characters. So the Queen of Wands, even though she's also a woman that would give birth, she wouldn't be this type of stay-at-home mum. She would have a career and be a mother at the same time, whereas the Queen of Pentacles might run a home business. And she might stay at home with the kids and cook at the cooker, you know, and take food out. She's also a businesswoman, of course, yeah. But she would also be the type that would probably run a home business. So I feel here that you are expecting with this Queen of Wands to have it all. All right? You're expecting to have the great passion within the relationship. And you're expecting to take charge and hold on to that, Virgo. And that's because of your skills as a female. You know, she's skilled is the Queen of Pentacles, and this is you, Virgo. This is because of you. And that's because you're a, you know, not just a, I'm not saying you're a homebody or anything. You probably not, loads of you that watch this video obviously work. And, you know, you probably aren't into all the children thing, but just in terms of who you are, just in terms of your ability to manage, you know, just the down-to-earth, day-to-day resources of your life with your partner, and to show him I am capable, because both cards represent capable women in the outside world. Very capable, whereas the Queen of Swords tends to cut off people around her, and the Queen of Cups can be very kind of dreamlike and sometimes quite insular and romantic and emotional. These two women are quite kick-ass in terms of managing the external things of life around them. So they're not so, you know, harsh as a Queen of Swords energy would be. And they're not so, you know, emotional as a Queen of Cups energy would be, but they know how to kind of deal with the external world in a very external way, if that makes any sense to you, especially this young lady here, this Queen of Pentacles. And I feel that you are expecting to have a very successful, passionate, in-charge relationship with this Queen of Wands energy showing here in terms of your expectations, because of who you are as the Queen of Pentacles. You can manage it. You can do it all. And this is what you're showing the partner, male or female. What is it that's hidden from you that you're not seeing coming in terms of love, Virgo, for the month of June 2017? Well, the energies will be around the Eight of Cups. And this can, you know, often with the Eight of Cups, we want to be careful with tarot. Sometimes this is about transcendence. It's about movement, forward movement is the Eight of Cups. Sometimes he says, you know, there has been a difficult situation, but you know what, actually, I'm going to try and find something better. Sometimes it's a pick card. So sometimes this is about just somebody who's taking a little bit of a break to collect their thoughts, because there's some form of difficult energy going on, and one needs to take a break and just to collect their thoughts on the situation. Sometimes this is about removing yourself from a situation. So it might be that the situation is around, you know, some form of break or distance happening here with the Eight of Cups. But what is it you're not seeing as a result of that coming in? Well, we've got the Judgment card showing up here. So I feel that because we've got the Eight of Cups and the situation is around a break or some form of departure happening in terms of feelings, or literally a departure, there is something to say that there is a judgment coming in. Something that I feel hasn't been tackled in your relationship maybe in June. Could go beyond June, because this is what's coming in. It might need to be addressed with this Judgment card. Also, it's saying to you that there is possibility for an awakening to be coming to you. So there's something that you didn't realise was coming is coming with the Judgment card. And what's the reason for that? Could be with the Hermit card, because somebody's been doing quite a bit of thinking here and they've not been telling you. But this is you as well, Virgo, the Hermit, okay? It could be that there is an awakening coming to you here, and that's because of the Hermit. So maybe this is your awakening. Maybe it's saying to you that what you don't know yet is that the situation might be where you have, because here, you're just all about this shit. You're all about this relationship here. And, you know, I've been seeing in a lot of readings for the signs that people who want to hold on to relationships. And it's interesting. It really is. And it was funny. I was thinking, fuck, how come I keep seeing this? I hope it's not. And then I thought, but Carol, you're not even in a relationship. You haven't been in a relationship for 12 bloody years. So you don't want to hold on to a relationship with yourself. You don't care. This is definitely what's going on with these signs. Definitely. I think it's only about 2 or 3 that I've been seeing the same sort of weirdo pattern running through, people wanting to hold on to shit. And I'm thinking, oh, what the hell's going on here? And I thought, no, it can't be your energy, can it? And I thought, well, no, obviously not. Of course it's not. You haven't been in a relationship for 12 years and you're a happy, independent woman. So it must be something in the water with these signs that says, for some of you guys, you're holding on to stuff. But this doesn't feel as bad as one of the other readings I did, where I think it was Sagittarius, where it really looked like somebody was trying to, it was twofold. For their reading, it was either they were trying to hold on, they were quite possessive of a partner, or somebody might have been possessive of them. Within this reading, it doesn't feel as angsty. It feels like you really care about someone, some of you guys. You really like someone here. You really like them. But because you show up as the Virgo individual here, I would say that what this is saying is that you could be in the next month, could be in the next few months, you're going to go through a situation where there's going to be an awakening here. And that's because of this. Now, if you look at the correlation, the similarity between the situation and the root cause of that situation, it's saying the situation will be about you walking away. And that's because you're going to withdraw. And why are you going to withdraw? Because you've had an awakening. So I feel what's coming in is some of you guys are going to be withdrawing from a relationship in the next few months with this energy here. I think you're going to withdraw yourself from this, personally, from what I can see. However, what are we dealing with in June, potentially, in terms of relationships for you? It's very interesting because you're all about this right now. But this isn't somebody else's call. This is your call here, Virgo. This is you guys here. In the immediate future in June, what we have is temperance. So temperance is the situation, and this will be, if this is your crowning thoughts, it's about making things work, because this is what temperance is. You know, I once did a reading on myself and I saw, you know, temperance is about a potion. What I found was, if you get this card with cards like the devil, somebody's putting some black type of magic on you, man, because somebody's working out a potion. This is the alchemist. This is like a magician, is the temperance energy here. And it is an angel on the card, but you can get dark angels as well. I saw a reading once, and I did it on myself, and it showed somebody was doing something with temperance energy. Sometimes it shows somebody's meddling. Okay? Especially if you get it with the Five of Pentacles. You know that somebody's been meddling in your shit when you're out the door. Right? So I saw this card in one of my readings for myself. I usually do a general reading for myself per week, just to see how my week's going to go, whatever it is. And just also to get more clarity and see what's going on with the cards. Because as things unfold, I'll jot it down in my book. It's very interesting. So temperance can be where somebody is meddling, or, you know, somebody's trying to kind of make some form of an adjustment here. It's about trying to bring opposing force, not even, because these aren't opposing forces. It's the same cups and it's the same water. All somebody's trying to do is create an element of balance, really, with the temperance energy here. So the situation will be about creating balance, I feel, with the temperance card, showing as the situation in the immediate future in June. And as a result of that, what comes underneath that situation? Well, we've got a Hanged Man card here. And the Hanged Man can show where things are a little bit in limbo. So it might be for some of you guys, a relationship is in limbo here. But why is it in limbo? Because of the Eight of Pentacles. It might be in limbo because it's not actually going anywhere. Eight of Pentacles can sometimes mean that repetitive action. What you're doing is you're doing things over and over again. You know, you might be going to see the same old films, or you might be going to, you know, you might be going out on a Friday night and a Saturday night, Virgo, or, you know, you might be doing something over and over and over again. But the problem with the Eight of Pentacles is, Virgo, there's no natural conclusion to the card. It just means that you're doing something over and over and over and over again. And there's no real, you know, this is about trying to attain something with the Eight of Pentacles, but there isn't really any attainment that one can find often with this card. Not unless you've got a Nine of Pentacles after it, or even a Ten of Pentacles to show that your goal is being reached. You need a card that captures the essence, really, of a goal being reached. Here we see a Hanged Man, and Hanged Man usually means perhaps a relationship is put on hold. I wouldn't, you know, Hanged Man we can also read as, oh, well, you'd be feeling relaxed. But it wouldn't gel with why we show up as the Eight of Pentacles when it's a worker card. It's hard work is the Eight of Pentacles focus. But also it shows up for things that are repetitive. So it might be that the relationship is just floundering. It's just, it doesn't mean that it's an ending or anything. It just means the relationship is kind of just a floundering. You know, it's just, there's no improvement there. Hangmans don't show improvement. They only show improvement when it's looking at the way somebody might be looking at something from a different perspective. But even if you with the Hangman, you're looking at something from a different perspective, maybe we need another card with the Hangman to show somebody has learned the lesson of what the Hanged Man sees. Because again, it's just a stationary card that shows, well, I'm looking at something from a different perspective. Maybe we need the Judgment card after the Hanged Man to say, yes, I understand. Hanged Man. And then the Judgment card for me shows looking at something from a different perspective. With the Judgment card brings release and brings a fresh understanding and rebirth. So for me, with cards like the Hanged Man, you always need a secondary card after that to show whether the lesson has been learnt, whether the different way of looking at something has been taken on board. And if it's not, then it really is just the Hanged Man. We need to show something that releases that Hanged Man. Here we don't have that. Here we have the Eight of Pentacles. Something here is floundering, it's up in the air, it's not really doing something in terms of this relationship because it's just a repetitive thing, I think, going on for some of you guys. And the situation around your immediate future is really just going with the flow. Often temperance means go with the flow as well, and it just means to manage things the way that they are. And that's why the overall outcome, not the overall outcome, the immediate future for some of your relationships is nothing is put on hold exactly, but it's a case of things are just the way that they are. They're just kind of in limbo. There's no improvement. You guys want improvement here. You can see it. You can see for some of you Virgo people, you want the improvement in the relationship. You do. Because what you're doing here is, you know, your mental and emotional is the Eight of Wands. Very different from Hanged Man is the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands shows movement. It's like Superman. It moves at lightning speed through the sky. But Hanged Man doesn't move, which is why it's not always the best card to get. You know, if somebody asks me how's my relationship going to turn out and you've got the Hanged Man, you might say, well, there's probably not going to be any changes, to be honest with you, or it's going to be a little bit in limbo. You know, is he going to ask me to marry him? The Hanged Man might say, well, he's thinking about it. But it also might say, well, not really. I can't really see it at the moment because the Hanged Man for me is a card, it's like the Devil. It shows limitations. Cards like Hanged Man, Devil card for me show limitations. It shows an element of something being stuck. It's not always as severe to say, you know, oh, well, it's going to be put on hold. It doesn't always mean that. It just means sometimes, well, you know, cards like High Priest, oh, is he going to marry me? Is he going to ask me to marry him? High Priestess, well, no. He might ask you to marry him in the future, but it's going to be a long way off with a High Priestess, because High Priestess means that changes are extraordinarily small. They take time. It doesn't show anything at all. It just shows really, really slow changes, the same as that Hanged Man does. Again, Devil, slow changes, restrictions. Those are the types of cards that show no real change. And I think it's saying here that here we can see what's going on. We can say, you know, you guys mentally and emotionally, for some of you Virgos, really excited mentally and emotionally. You've got the Eight of Wands. It's all about movement, fast action, quick. Let's get the ball rolling because of the Four of Wands. Maybe let's get engaged. You know, we're mid-cycle of this relationship. We've been together for a little while, and I really want to get things moving here. And that's because in the present, the Magician, you've got some great intentions for this relationship. You really do, because you're in love. The Lover's card. And you're dedicated. The situation is that Virgo is probably dedicated with that Knight of Pentacles. This is you after all. You know? However, your focus with the situation in terms of your hopes is the Seven of Swords. So it might be mentally you're thinking to yourself, I hope I'm not being deceived here. Which is why it's manifesting as to your hope is the Nine of Wands. I need to protect this relationship. I need to hold on to this relationship. Because it could be in the past, you've had some imbalanced relationships. It could also be that with this relationship, maybe you're protecting it because there is a fear that you're giving too much and somebody's giving too little. Your expectations are, well, the situation, the focus, the mental. I often use these two cards here to say what the crowning area, so your mental capacity, what you're thinking here. And usually this is showing for me, because this is the thought and emotions, this is showing the situation here, and this is the present. I think this is here, and here is the what's actually going on. And here are your thoughts, okay? And here is also going to be sort of, might be thoughts, might be, you know, this isn't anything to do with you, because this is what you're not seeing coming in. All right, so you might not be thinking this now, but it's something that you're going to be thinking in the future. And this is usually what you're going to be doing, these two energies here. So here, in terms of thoughts, you know, your head is geared towards positivity, victory with that Six of Wands, achieving a goal in which you're expecting the Queen of Wands. And that Queen of Wands is your energy, the energy of the relationship, passion, control, taking charge. You know? Queens are in charge just as kings are. So you're expecting to take charge of this relationship through the Queen of Pentacles energy, because of the Queen of Pentacles, and that's your energy as a Virgo, showing up as the Queen of Pentacles. Showing your ability to manage, to be resourceful, to show that you are the best thing to this individual that they can get. But what you don't see coming in is that the energies, the situation will be around walking away. And that's because Virgo will have an awakening. And that's because of you, the Hermit. You'll probably withdraw for a little bit, go introspectively and say, I'm not sure about this. And why is that? It could be connected to what happens in the immediate, because this is what's coming in and you don't see. So it's connected, I think, to here. That the overall energies, the immediate future shows the situation is trying to manage this relationship, get it on an even keel, get it in balance. Because this relationship in the present is facing the Hanged Man. Up in the air, a little bit of limbo. And that's because it might be that things are repetitive. Where you are looking at an improvement, 8 of Wands shows improvement. So if somebody says to me, is my business going to improve? All right? And you kind of got the Hanged Man. So I did a 2-card reading and somebody says, you know, is my business going to improve? And then I got the Hanged Man, which showed that the business was floundering. It was a little bit stuck in limbo. And then I pulled another card to see what would happen after. And I got the 8 of Wands. I would say, yeah, of course it is. Because it shows action. Shows a proactive energy. Shows movement. 8 of Wands is movement. It represents improvement. 6 of Wands represents improvement. Any card in the tarot for me that shows action, activity, to me that shows improvement of a situation. Here, the improvement is in the mind. Here, you're filled with the joys of spring. You've got all of this amazing energy around this relationship, but there is an awakening here. And why is there an awakening? Because in the immediate future, you realise that something's repetitive and there's no real improvement here. What's going on in the overall outcome for June? Well, there we go. The 2 of Swords is the situation. Possibly being in two minds, between a rock and a hard place, uncertainty, needing to make a decision, but also the 2 of Swords means stagnation. What is the overall outcome? The Chariot, though. So the Chariot is an interesting card, because whilst it does speak about success, it could be that it depends on what this card is. It could say, yeah, the overall outcome is, though, you have success within this relationship, you push through. But it could also say with the Chariot that whilst there is the relationship that seems to be kind of a little bit kind of wobbly, because the Chariot card is the card that says, you know, I want to move forward with this, but we've got a couple of stumbling blocks here. So it shows opposing forces and the need to control those opposing forces. So the overall outcome will still be, I feel, for Virgos, trying to control those opposing forces that threaten to tear the relationship apart, but knowing that this is something that you really want. And why do we have the Chariot, though, in the overall outcome? There we go, because of the 9 of Cups. And I think that this 9 of Cups is saying that we have success, even though the situation will be around the 2 of Swords. Okay. What we could also say here is, if we were to really sort of look at these cards, I feel, is that the overall outcome is success. You're pushing forward with this relationship. And that's because of the 9 of Cups. You're happy and you're contented the way things are. But what's the situation around that? The 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords often means to be blind, and it often means to block things out. So this isn't really about you being in two minds, Virgo. This is about you ignoring everything else that's going on. You might have an awakening here. And it might be the situation is that some of you guys do consider walking away, because what you're not seeing is that you're going to have an awakening. And that awakening comes through the Virgo card, you, the Hermit, possibly looking to withdraw just for a little while. Maybe you've done a lot of introspection around the relationship. And that will come in off the back of this relationship being a little bit in limbo, because it's very repetitive, possibly quite boring, mundane. Nothing changes. There's no improvement despite what you've been wanting in June. However, it's saying the overall outcome is you have success here. But what is the success based on? It's based on the 9 of Cups. Happiness. Feeling contented. Saying, okay, well, you know what? you know, at least it's nice, or at least we have great sex, or at least we have a good time together, you know. So it's based on the Nine of Cups element. And the Nine of Cups is a fairly solitary card because it represents solitary happiness a lot of the time. You can have happiness with friends, you can have happiness on an external basis. The party, the drink, the friends, the sex, the food, all of that stuff. But what I'm noticing is you push forward, not based on a card that says this is the Ten of Cups, or the Ten of Pentacles, or the Two of Cups, or the Lovers. It's based on the Nine of Cups. And this tells me that this is success based on self-gain. So it's almost like you accept something for what it is, and you say, well, it's giving me personal happiness. Because really, for me, the Nine of Cups is about personal happiness. And also, for me, the other clue is to say what the situation is around in the overall outcome for you guys in terms of love. And it's around this Two of Swords. So the situation is Two of Swords. Two of Swords is just not about, you know, having to make a decision. It's deeper than that. It's about being blind. It's about ignoring what your feelings are. The water is behind you, Virgo, and some of you guys might choose to ignore what your true feelings are. And that's why you push forward. Despite the opposing feelings you have here with the two Sphinxes. You push forward despite the opposing feelings you have. And you do have opposing feelings because those opposing feelings you're blocking out behind you with that Two of Swords. And you're also blindfolded, and you're also crossing your heart with swords. So really, it's the idea of the relationship that keeps you moving forward. Because I feel for some of you guys, this is why there is an awakening here for you guys, and why there is the consideration of walking away. Because here, you can see in June that something isn't really moving. There's a repetitiveness to this relationship. And that's why what's coming in is this, the awakening for Virgo. Because you've done some self-reflection on that with the Hermit energy. And therefore, though in June, nothing seems to be really moving, nothing seems to be really kind of changing within this relationship, the overall outcome says for June, where you block it out, you ignore it with the Two of Swords. You ignore your intuition, you ignore your feelings, you ignore everything. And you just look at what makes sense in a logical way. And what makes sense to you is the overall outcome. Well, I'm going to just push forward with this. Even though my feelings are saying something else, which is the Sphinxes, they're threatening to pull me apart. No. I'm still going to go for it. And you know why I'm going to still just pursue with this relationship? Because it just brings me personal happiness. Because for me, the Nine of Cups shows one person on that. And usually with nines, showing one person, it's all about personal happiness rather than joint happiness. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not judging. I'm not doing any of that stuff, Virgo. I'm really not judging the case. Everybody's different in terms of love. But I feel here that for some of you guys in June, and even going on before that, you start out with this kind of idealization of what love is and what this relationship could be. And in nowhere in the reading, which is really interesting, do I see this man except for here, the Knight of Swords, who I think this person is. He's either an air sign or he has the elements of the Knight of Swords, which is somebody who is kind of, you know, they're not a king, they're a knight. And there's a difference between kings and knights. Kings are far more aware, self-aware, and they're far more kind of, you know, what's the word that I'm looking for? Grounded. Knights are all over the place. So this is the energy. This is either an air sign maybe, or this is somebody who's like this Knight of Swords. Dashing, good-looking, energetic, athletic maybe, you know. Got the gift of the gab, does the Knight of Swords have? You know, this is the type of person that the Knight of Swords is, Virgo, you know. Somebody who's charming. He's very good at charming the ladies or the men. Very good at that. And this is what gets you. This is what you want. This is why you're kind of like, you're all about, oh man, yeah. Oh, you know, I want to make plans with, you know, I'm going to keep this person, you know. The expectation, you know, Queen of Wands is my expectation. It's not another woman or anything. It's what you expect to do. You're going to keep this person here. You're going to show them that you're worth it because you're the Queen of Pentacles. I'm not only sexy and fiery and I've got everything going for me, but I'm also this. I'm also resourceful, you know, because I'm sexy because I am the Queen of Pentacles. I'm resourceful. I'm you know, they will often say, well, what's the queen that every man would want in the tarot? And it is really the Queen of Pentacles, because she encapsulates all of the elements of the queens. The mental intelligence of the Queen of Swords, the emotional understanding of the Queen of Cups, and the beauty and the drive of the Queen of Wands. And also for herself, her business acumen, her ability to work with her resources in a very clear and concise way. What else would anybody want, male or female, from a man that was like this or a woman who is like this? It's everything that she has. And this is what you're saying to this person. Your expectations are, well, there ain't going to be nothing wrong with my relationship because he can't get better than me. He or she can't get better than me. Why go out for a McDonald's when you can get a steak at home? That's how you guys are going to be thinking about this relationship. But soon it dawns on you here. And why does it dawn on you? Because you've been doing some self-reflection. But this isn't really doing anything different. This person knows what they've got in me. They see it. I'm the bum. So why aren't they treating me like I'm the bum? You know, this relationship is kind of a bit boring, really, with this Hangman and Eight of Pentacles. It's kind of floundering. But nevertheless, you choose to ignore your intuition with that Two of Swords. And you choose to press ahead with the Chariot because it gives you personal gratification with that Nine of Cups. Interesting reading for June and going further. Love that reading, Virgo. Let me know what you think if it resonates with you. Thank you for joining me on Carol's Universe, guys, and I will see you in July. Don't forget to check out your general reading for June as well. Love you loads, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.